RH here, Relentless Homesteading, here at Costco, picking up a generator. The Champion Power Dual Fuel Generator, 7,000 watts. It's 9,000 watts peak. So, and we'll do the unboxing later on today. RH here, project fans. Get this beast out of here. Get the generator set out of here and up to the pole barn, or near the pole barn, so we can do an unboxing. Talk about some tongue weight. Come on, bugger. Slide forward. Oh, you just don't want to slide at all, do you? Okay. RH here. Generator unboxing time. Well, we're going to do this a little differently. This time we're going to have an unboxing a la carte. A la carte. Not a la mode, a la carte. Okay, well, enough of that. Well, I saw at Costco the other day. Picked up this generator. Well, I didn't pick it up, I kind of slid it off the shelf, really, into my big cart because I couldn't get anyone to help. I'm glad it wasn't up really high. Now, I'll go into some of the details later about, selection of generators, because that's something I've actually been considering for some time. And this generator, one of the principal features with a larger generator like this that I needed was the 240 volt output to run my well pumps. The other consideration, this one has dual fuel. I was initially considering a diesel generator, and in fact it's interesting because at first I was thinking of running a whole house. I was like looking at 30 kilowatts and then 25 kilowatts, and as I started to think about the scenarios that may play out in the future when things hit the fan and all of a sudden you can't get goods and services, when electricity shuts down, you're not going to know when it's going to be restored necessarily. You're not going to know whether you're going to be able to get gasoline anymore. I just see that we're going to be in a mode where we're going to try to use as few as resources as possible, make them last as long as possible. And having a large generator, doing the calculations, I was looking at burning about 6 to 8 gallons a day just for our power requirements. And you start thinking that out, if you want to be there for a year, 8 gallons a day times 365, yeah, that's that's a lot of fuel. So, I've really been looking at other means of being able to do this, and as I've gone along, it's like things getting smaller and smaller. Now this is about the smallest that I felt really comfortable could run the well pumps, because there's a pump down in the well, and then we also have a pressure pump, and both of those can be running simultaneously. So it really needs to be able to handle both of those and the surge currents associated with that. So that was one of the prime considerations in terms of size. And I like the dual fuel on this because it's also difficult to store fuel for a long period of time. This runs on propane or gasoline. So even though the gasoline can last for, I hear 4 to 5 years using Pri-G, there are Stable and some others that last, and Seafoam, which last a little less time. I haven't tried the Pri-G yet. I've been using Stable and Seafoam. But you still have to rotate your fuel for it to work well, and that is really a hassle. I will be describing a bit of that here soon, because I will be into doing that until I can get a decent sized propane tank for this and get that set up. So this had very good recommendations. In fact, while I was buying it in Costco, I ran into someone online that had bought one last year, and he was really loved it. But the reviews have been really good. Even though it is a Chinese motor, there are a great deal of differences between different Chinese machined elements. In fact, our younger son is over in China. He's been there for the last 5 years, and he has his own business over there. He's actually doing, building bicycles and selling them. So, yeah, I mean, he's kind of familiar with that, and we've talked about that on a number of occasions, and he says the same thing. Some of the companies there do a really good job, and others it's just garbage. So this had a good recommendations on that, and we'll go ahead and start tearing into it. One of the reasons I wanted to get this out today, I've got to make a rush up to the big box store here in a little bit, and the hardware store. I need to pick up, among other things, some electrical stuff for wiring this in to the house. Well, actually, excuse me, not the house, for the pole barn. So I need to see exactly the type of connectors I'm dealing with here. Box open to get this thing out of here. Unless I use my tractor. Yeah, wow. Wasn't really thinking about that. Okay. Well, like we say here, relentless homesteading, it is what it is. Actually, that's not all what we say. Okay, so this thing has a tilt, so I'm going to tilt this thing, snap it there, and it'll slide onto the ground. I should have done that maybe before I opened it up, in case it wanted to tip over. Okay, now how can I reduce that? Well, if I keep it balanced, do that. Can I put something underneath here? Ah, yes. It's got its own wheel, so I don't really have to put it onto the dolly. Well, let's just go for it. This guy. Yeah, let's get down here on the business here. See if we can prevent this thing from slamming down. There we go. Oh, it's hung up on my lips here. Problem with slip-on shoes. Right off of that. Okay, now as I hate to do this, but getting it out of the box I'd rather destroy this box than destroy what's in it. So I'm looking in the directions. Me oh my. Me oh my. Dual fuel generator, model 100-155. Speaking of box knives, I want to show you one. This is like a linoleum cutting blade for a box knife. I was using it when I cut tar on a project. I put felt paper down and then tar paper on a roof. And this has got a nice hook. This just works so sweet for cutting that tar paper. You know, whereas the regular blade, it wants to like slip off. Well, this just, obviously hooks in there and works really nice for that. I liked it so well, I want to keep it on there, but I got to now get another one of these to have a straight blade. And it's probably not really sharp for this app. Yeah, hey, it's not very sharp at all, is it? It's not even on the cardboard. It's just tearing through the cardboard, though. Okay. Cut in there. There we go. Sweet. Okay, I believe we'll be needing the accessories pronto. Dozo. Domo. Domo. Domo arigato. Nice. Well, you're out of the frame there. You're just out of the frame. I'm sorry. You're just out of the frame, pal. Okay. What we've got here is the accessories. I'm liking this this cord. Plugs into this dude. That is cool. It's got outlets on both sides. Looks like it's got circuit breaker resets on it. Wow, no wonder it costs $65 by itself. Oh, that's nice. I still have to use a different cord because this is like, it's more for 110. This is also the 220 with the weird side bladed plugs, but I need some major power going into to run the house, so I'll have to use a big connector like that. Okay, let's get the other stuff out of here, and just so we know what we've got when we start installing it. Adapter. No, I don't know. We've got, this is for connecting up the LP gas. We'll go through all these things later. Oh, that's like a front snubber or a, base plate, and the wheels. Pretty light. Sturdy enough. Need some axles. Better pronounce that correctly. Okay, there's the axles and other stuff. Now we must get the packaging of this. I'm going between Indian and German here. Oh, it's got little motor mounts in there. Well, of course it would have to, but that's just, that's cool looking. I like that. And it's got, another nice thing this has is it's got a pull start, so that, if your battery's dead, you can still pull start it into going. The engine on it is 439 cc's. I used to have a motorcycle that was about that size. 450. Now my motorcycle is 1100 cc. Wheels, obviously, they've got the hub part and then like so. And we have the room I would rather have. Whoa. What do we get going on there? Turns out all this stuff was difficult to get to. Now, actually, I always like to oil these, grease these hubs a little bit. Now, do I want to use grease or do I want to use yeah, I'm going to use a non-grease item. Let me grab that. Yeah, we're going to use some dry lubricant. It's for the bikes. Teflon bike lube. This works pretty nicely in some circumstances. Don't want to take any chance of accidentally kicking it over until I get everything else. I got to load it up with fuel, oil, and otherwise get it ready to go. So for now, those are on. Get this guy up on his wheels and get him put away. Get on the way. Obviously, I didn't want to drive up to town with this generator sitting in the back of my truck. Like an open invitation. Here, steal me! Nice bright colors on it. Yeah, that'd be great. Okay. Ow. Ouch, bumba. Oh, that's the connector. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Choke. Oh, there it is. There's a choke. Neat. Choke. Run. Now, this handle piece. Okay. We're all set. There's our beast. So as you can see, it's electric start. Apparently these batteries aren't all the best. So it may want to be replaced for longevity, but it does have a pull start. Ah, interesting. They've left these off there now. And we've got connectors here. There's a 120 volt 3-prong. It's a 120 240. How can it be? Huh. Oh, I see. So it's 120 if you use, 3 legs, and if you use the 4th leg, it's 240. Okay. There's some regular 120 sockets, some other 120 sockets. So this is primarily what I'll be using to connect up for the other. It's the 4-prong with the little locking tab. And I'll get some pictures of that real quick. Take that along. So the battery on off. So you can turn the battery on, start it. It's got a gauge here that tells you some information, power, and such like that. There's the start for it. Circuit breakers for these. Now these are all GFCI. Well, are those? These aren't, apparently. No, those apparently aren't GFCI. These are GFCI. The resets on them. And that causes some things with neutral, so be aware of that. Connecting it into a whole house system, there's some things you have to do to make the neutral work right. Here's the connection for the LP gas. Here's a fuel selector switch. Oh, I like that. That's clever. So for the LP gas, you can select it, push this all the way over, and you can turn it on and off. Or you can slide it over this way, and you can turn your gas on and off. And then I don't button gas valve. Huh. Oh, I see. So the interlock here actually presses on that. Ah, okay. So it actually, when it goes to gas, then this actually engages that, so it knows it's in gas mode, so we can switch. Well, that's fun. I like that. I like the covers on this. The one I saw on Amazon didn't have these little covers. If you can have it outdoors, it's nice to have those covered up. Okay. Well, that's a quick view of it. And we'll talk about it some more. Gotta get rolling. Hasta la proyecto. See you on the next project. Be sure to check out part 2 on the Champion generator, where we compare, first of all, compare it with our old generator, the Honda 2000, and why the decision for this generator. Also, run a testing with it, with running it on propane, and then some load testing with running it on gas, even overloading it, and showing the results.